Okay, so we ended last class with two types of combination of resistances. The equivalent resistance for a series and also the equivalent resistance for a parallel connection. Here we say that this is equal to R1 plus R2 plus dot 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 plus Rn, and here we would say 1 upon R equivalent will be equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus dot, okay, plus 1 upon Rn. Now a very common question that you get in your pre-boards, okay, pre-boards or half yearly also. I will initially not give you the hint, I'll just throw the question straight away to you. Try to use your common sense and check whether you're able to answer or not. Answer मत सोचो, सोचो आपको क्लिक कर रहा है कि नहीं वो आप देखो, whether it's clicking you or not. Okay, so it's a VI plot, right? It's a VI plot, and on this VI plot there are two plots given to you. Say this is another plot. I'm saying this is R1 and R2, right? Which of them represents a parallel resistance, equivalent resistance of a parallel combination, which represents equivalent resistance of a series combination? ऐसा आपको क्वेश्चन दे देगा. Are you able to first understand? R1 and R2 are two resistance characteristics. Okay, VI plot will always give you resistance. पहले सोचो VI. What is the plot? V means this is in volts, this is in amperes. ठीक है? So whenever you look about slope, पहले basic clear करो. Slope is always rise over run, means one way you can say slope is a y data over a x data. So what do you have on y? I have voltage. What do you have on x? I have current. Is this quantity known to me? Yes. Ohm's law says that this is nothing but resistance. इतना तो समझ में आया. अब इनमें से what we are trying to say is that, let's say the question that they are trying to ask you is, suppose there are two resistances. Okay, this is a resistance P, this is a resistance Q, and same P and Q are now connected in this manner. This is parallel combination, right? This is a series combination, this is parallel combination. Let's say this is P and this is Q. They have not told you whether R1 is the series or R2 is the series outcome. इतना समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Are you able to decipher the question or not? Whether R1 is the series or R2 is the series, they are not telling you. Means equivalent resistance. Looking at the graph, you should be able to say. Can you think how you should be able to say? You forget all these things. From this graph, what are the information you can think amongst R1 and R2? All of you give a try. From the graph, what do you think? ये सब भूल जाओ, ये देखने की जरूरत नहीं. ये ग्राफ है. It's a VI graph. R1 has a more slope. So R1 has a more slope. That means higher resistance. That means at least I can say R1 in terms of value will be greater than R2. सीधी सी बात है. ये अगर distance time graph होता तो ये सब speed दिखाता. ये अगर velocity time graph होता ये acceleration दिखाता. Got it? Now this is a VI graph. So this is showing resistance. Which is a higher resistance? R1 is a higher resistance. अब आप यहाँ आओ. Series में हमेशा resistance बढ़ता है. For the given same combination, series का resistance हमेशा ज़्यादा होता है. Therefore, R1 pertains to this combination, R2 pertains to this combination. A series resistance is much more. हमने पढ़ा था ना last class that what are the drawbacks of having a series connection in a domestic wiring? Overall resistance increases. And if you apply a little bit of common sense, you can see here, look, in series, all the resistances add up. What will be the value? Say 2 plus 2 plus 2, how much? 6. Half plus half plus half, 1.5. 1.5 is always less than, ठीक है? And 1.5 करेंगे तो भी 1.5 होगा और फिर 1.5 को उल्टा करना पड़ेगा. but overall in parallel the resistance is less. Did you understand? This question comes, but the school is much more cruel than you think. वो question ऐसे नहीं देगा. अब देखो क्या करेगा आपके साथ. ये लिख लिया आपने. इस क्वेश्चन को बना के आराम से you keep your note, whatever is it. Now look what the school will do. This they did in Phoenix Green 2 years back. हाँ, Phoenix Green में. So what they did, इसको उल्टा दिया और बच्चा उल्टा आंसर लिख के आ गया. इधर I दे दिया और इधर V दे दिया. Now see. Now do you understand? Now R2 is the greater resistance because you have swapped the axis. So always when you get on these things, you please write it down. First is look at the axis. First is look at the axis. Ideally, Y should always have volts and X should always have current. Because we know slope is always equal to Y data upon X data. And then only it will become V upon I, which will give you R. If it is reverse, तो आपका उल्टा हो जाएगा. Ideally this, look at the axis and don't immediately jump to your conclusion. So that means if this is I and this is V, the higher resistance is this one. That this one represents series, this one represents parallel. Anyone has any confusion on this one? All okay? Clear? ठीक है, लिख लीजिए, फिर इसके ऊपर कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स करते हैं. Done? Okay, chalo. Let's take up some problems on these. So, now to solve the problem, your master list of formulas should be by heart with you. Still एक बार लिख लेते हैं. We started by current is equal to Q by T. Voltage is equal to work done over charge. V upon I is equal to R. R is equal to rho L upon A. R EQ S is equal to sigma Ri, I equal to 1 to N. Statistics की भाषा लगा दिया इसमें, है ना? And number 6, 1 upon R EQ parallel will always be equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus dot 1 by Rn. We will be using these formulas and we will try to attack our questions. Ready? Let's take the first question. Okay. When you solve these questions, remember every load is a resistor. चाहे वो आपको fan बोले, bulb बोले, कुछ भी बोले, every load is a resistor. Okay. So our first question, don't get worried looking at it, looking at the diagram straight away. तो थोड़ा सा डायग्राम को भी स्केल से ही बनाते हैं तो बच्चों को अच्छा लगता है. So our diagram is simplest of the problem. And in exam, please don't draw the circuit diagram with hands. नाम marks काट लेगा आपका. Don't do that blunder. First, let us before even writing the question, let us try to absorb this. What is this showing you? A voltage source. which is giving you a voltage supplying 10 volt, and you have connected a bulb to it. Apparently it makes us feel that ये bulb 10 volt खाने लायक नहीं है. That's why you are using a resistor. A resistor is going to limit the current. If you take out the resistor, more current is going to flow. Keep these things in your mind. If you take out the resistor, what does a resistor do? It opposes the current. If you remove the resistor, more current will flow to the bulb. We have given the resistor, and maybe with this value the bulb is glowing happily. Means the bulb is being fed with some voltage which is more than it can digest. Clear हो रहा है? बोलो शौर्या, बोलो क्या प्रॉब्लम है?
Wait, but then why would you place the resistance after?
इससे कुछ आता जाता नहीं है ना. It is all about the current. It's nothing that resistance has to come पहले और बाद. You can place the resistor here, here it's same. It limits the current after all. ठीक है? Are we fine? So the fuse हो जाने से you can take a torch bulb and you can just connect to 40 bulbs one way and leave it open. उसमें नहीं उड़ेगा ना. It's the same shock वाला कांड. Unless circuit is complete, it will never sense the current. ठीक है? Now let's see the question. The question is a current of I ampere flows in a series circuit. So the current of I ampere is flowing. A current of I ampere flows in a series circuit containing an electric lamp and a conductor of 5 ohm when connected to a 10 volt battery. So we write what is given to us. Given to us is number 1, we have voltage that is V is equal to 10 volt. इतना हमें दिया हुआ है. 2, resistance of conductor, ठीक है, is equal to 5 ohm. This much is given. 3, the circuit current is I ampere. Circuit current is equal to I. Okay. Now calculate the resistance of the electric lamp. You have to calculate the resistance of the electric lamp. The first question is a generic question. Calculate the resistance of the electric lamp. So what do we write? We write let the resistance of the lamp be equal to RL. हमें नहीं पता, हमने इसको RL लिख दिया है. Have you understood? RL. RL is the resistance of the bit of what? Of the lamp. Now, equivalent resistance of the circuit. Resistance of the circuit. कितना हो जाएगा? Equivalent resistance. The equivalent resistance will become equal to RL plus 5 ohm. Why? Because lamp and conductor are in series. अच्छा, in series the current always remains constant. Current यहाँ से भी आ ही जा रहा है, इधर से भी आए. current को कोई रास्ता नहीं मिल रहा है रोड चेंज करने का. Equivalent resistance मिल गया. You have got the equivalent resistance. So once you have got the equivalent resistance, this whole circuit now looks to us like this. See, the whole circuit has now been replaced by just a simple circuit, which is this. This is a 10 volt. I ampere is running through this. And how much is this? RL plus 5 ohm. Children, are you able to understand this or not? Overall, RL plus 5 ohm. Okay. Acha. Current of I, and I misread the question. The current I is equal to 1 ampere. ये दिया हुआ है. ठीक है, अब तो हमारे लिए और easy है. So it's not a generic question. Current is equal to 1 ampere. Now, अब यहाँ पे, now I'm doing it as detailed so that you understand. Applying Ohm's law. Ohm's law in the equivalent circuit. Okay, children, this I am deliberate. Now I'm writing it as 1 ampere. ठीक है? Just make that change. It is a 1 ampere current. अब आप कर लेंगे बेटा. अब Ohm's law apply कर दो. सर्किट में कितना रेजिस्टेंस है? एक ही रेजिस्टेंस है. एक ही वोल्टेज, एक ही रेजिस्टेंस. Ohm's law क्या है? V upon I is equal to R. So what do we write? 10 volt upon 1 ampere should be equal to RL plus 5 ohm. यहां से आप कीजिए, मैं नहीं करूंगा. शेयर समझ में आया? ये सबसे इजी टाइप क्वेश्चन है, लेकिन इसको सबसे पहले हमें क्या करना है, ब्रेक द प्रॉब्लम इनटू अ स्मॉल पार्ट, ब्रिंग इट टू सिंपल सर्किट, सिंपल. Even if you study electrical engineering also, everything you will bring to a simple resistance and a voltage source. Then only it becomes easy for us to calculate. How much did you get RL beta? 5 ohms is the resistance. Absolutely correct. So RL is equal to 5 ohms. And please release the answer saying that the resistance of the lamp is 5 ohms. वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग प्रॉब्लम्स. इजी समझ में आया? तो इसका अलग पार्ट है. ये लेफ्ट वाला मिटाऊं, ये फॉर्मूला लिस्ट मिटाऊं धीरे से. ओके, वंस एवरीवन इज डन, विल गो टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. इट्स रिकॉर्डिंग, राइट? Shall I put the next part of the question? Same question, it continues further. Okay, it says now that now if a resistance of 10 ohm is connected in parallel with this series combination, right? So can I rub this part now? First part, can I rub? Okay, I'm just rubbing this part. And let's take this diagram one step up. Okay, so बोलो बेटा, अभी ओवरऑल ये रेजिस्टेंस कितना है? You have just calculated it. 5 and 5, 10 ohms. 10 ohms, 1 ampere current is running, and this is 10 volt. अच्छा, ये अगर थोड़ा सा कॉम्पिटिटिव टाइप एग्जाम में होता, तो अगर 10 वोल्ट से 1 एम्पियर रन करवाना है तो रेजिस्टेंस 10 ही होना पड़ेगा ना. So easily you could have done. Did you get it or not? See, V upon I is always equal to R. You know the value of I. I यहाँ ले जाओगे तो V by R हो जाएगा ना. ये और इसका वैल्यू 1 है. अगर ये 10 है तो ये 10 होना ही पड़ेगा ना. और 10 में 5 ऑलरेडी दिया है, तो दूसरा वाला 5 ही होगा. ऐसे दिमाग लगाने का अभी, ठीक है? I did not force it at that time because now you are learning how to do it. So ऐसे सोचने का थोड़ा सा. Now let's see the next part of the question. Now it says, suppose a resistance of 10 ohm, listen very carefully, is connected in parallel with this series combination. मतलब यहाँ पे एक और रेजिस्टेंस लगा दिया 10 ohm का. आपको ऐसे ही आंसर देना आ जाना चाहिए. 10 ohm parallel करेंगे तो effective resistance is 5 ohm. So this circuit now becomes 5 ohms. And this is how much? 10 volts. Abhi, now just think yourself. What did you do? You reduced the resistance. More current should flow through it. Earlier, how much was flowing? 1. अब कितना flow करेगा? 2. देखते हैं question क्या है. Okay, now if this is connected, what change, if any, in current flowing through 5 ohm conductor and potential difference across the lamp will take place? Give reason. Now see. 1 minute, huh? Now this part they had not asked. This is what we have understood. Okay, they are now asking you that if you do this, what happens to the current? What happens to the current that is flowing through the 5 ohm conductor and the potential difference across the lamp will take place? आप ये बताइए. So अब आपको नया diagram ऐसे draw करना होगा. So the new diagram is, again your lamp is like this, and this is your same circuit, right? How much is this? 10 volt, 5 ohm, and now you have bought a 10 ohm parallel out here. Now we have a 10 ohm. Now they're asking you how much current?
How much current is?
How much current is passing through? Yes, that's what they have asked you. They have asked you now if current, if any, is flowing through the 5 ohm conductor and the potential difference across the lamp will take place. Potential difference across the lamp. See, voltage always gets divided. एक चीज याद रखिएगा. This voltage 10 volt is going to get divided. We don't know how much. पैरेलल में दोनों का सेम रहेगा. अभी हम 5 वोल्ट हमें नहीं पता, मतलब यहाँ पे ये जो चैनल है ना, इस चैनल में there will be a division in voltage. We don't know, it's a V1. It will get divided. And here V2, मतलब
get divided.
series है ना, so there will be a voltage V1 across this and a V2 across this, where if you add V1 and V2 you should get 10 volts, and here the voltage through this one will always be how much? The same V1 plus V2, 10 volt, क्योंकि ये तो parallel में है, ये 10 is parallel to this. So the question is that if the current flowing through, you have to find out what is the current flowing through the 5 ohm conductor and what is the current. ठीक है, चलिए कोशिश करो. The resistance of the previous diagram, they've just said you that you have to find out now if a resistance of 10 ohm, what is the change in current flowing through the 5 ohm conductor, and the potential, what is the change in current flowing through the 5 ohm conductor. Now current will change. Whatever current was coming here as I, the current will split as I1 and I2. अब आप कैसे निकालोगे? ठीक है, करें, कुछ भी मुश्किल नहीं है, आइए करते हैं. Get first two basic things cleared. Current in parallel gets divided because current now gets two different routes to flow. So I1 is the current flowing through the top channel. So if I1 flows through the lamp, I1 will flow through here also. Same I1 will go. और यहाँ से I2 आएगा. Again they will combine and become I from here. Shall we solve only this part? Okay, so let's first find out what is the overall circuit resistance पहले. हाँ नहीं, अभी पहले सबसे पहले निकालिए कि ओवरऑल सर्किट रेजिस्टेंस कितना था. ओवरऑल सर्किट रेजिस्टेंस वाज 10 ohms. 10 ohms के साथ आपने कितना कर दिया? 10 कर दिया. तो I का वैल्यू कितना हो गया? I is 2. Is that clear or not? Right. So initially this was 1 ampere. The resistance was how much? 10 ohms. 10 ohms. And 10 ohms के साथ 10 ohm किया तो कितना हो गया? 5 ohms हो गया. 5 ohms. So overall, what is this current? This current should be I is equal to V upon R. So V remains as 10 and R has become 5 now. So it becomes 2 ampere. इतना तो हमें पता है. Let's now progress on the smaller one. Smaller one में देखते हैं. चलो. Are we fine? यहाँ से करें? आ जाओ. Try to apply Ohm's law only for this bulb. V1 upon R of the lamp should be equal to the current flowing through the. Agreed? हमें V1 निकालना है. तो V1 की वैल्यू कितनी हो गई? I1 into RL. RL you know, but you do not know the value of I1. You don't know. You do not know I1. Fine. चलो यहाँ पे कैलकुलेट करते हैं. What is the value out here? For this, V2 by 5 ohms should be equal to I2. ठीक है, चले. So V1 is equal to I1 into 5 and V2 is equal to I2 into 5. So take out, we need to get V1, right? So yeah.
So V1 is I1 into RL.
Which one? V1 is I1 into RL. So RL is 5, we had calculated, and V2 will be here. V2 by 5 ohms. There's the drop here. This is also equal to, oh, this is I1. ये तो गलत लग रहा है. This is I1. This is I1. ठीक है. So what is the value of I1 you are getting from here as V2 by 5. यहाँ डाल दीजिए V1 is equal to V2 by 5 into 5. Agreed? That means 5 and 5 cancels. V1 equals to V2. And V1 plus V2 is how much? V1 plus V2 should be 10. So V1 should be equal to 5 volt. अच्छा ऐसे भी सोचो, just think yourself. Now shortcut of doing this problem. What was the resistance of how much is the resistance of this resistor? 5. इसका कितना है? 5. Same current running, same resistors. Will they not consume equal amount of voltage? तो 5 इतना करने की जरूरत नहीं था, पर आपको ऐसे algebraically आना चाहिए करना, and you'll get your answers. ये कहां समझ में नहीं आया बोलिए, फिर से करते हैं. See, okay, let's say two children are sitting in series and I am scolding both of them. Both the children have the same amount of stubbornness bolo, thick skinness bolo, even. Don't you think my scolding will be evenly distributed between them? वैसा ही है. I am scolding at 10 volts. This child has got a resistance of 5 ohm. ये बच्चे को भी 5 ohms. तो दोनों को एक ही सेम करंट जाएगा, दोनों से I करंट जा रहा है, तो दोनों को से एक ही the 10 volt will be eaten up equally by both the resistors. Yes or no? 5 and 5. वैसे आपको करके भी तो दिखा दिया. अच्छा क्या चीज नहीं हो रहा है बोलो, मैं दोबारा आप वैसे छोड़ दो, पहले से करके दिखाते हैं आपको, कोई बात नहीं, वी हैव टाइम. चलो, द फर्स्ट थिंग you have to find out PD across lamp. This is what they have asked you. What is the PD across lamp? And number 2, they have asked you what is the current through conductor. Have you understood the question or not? When you connected a 10 ohm in parallel with it. Clear? चलो दोबारा करो. जब आप 10 ohm कनेक्ट नहीं किए थे, what was the effective resistance? 10. 5 plus 5, you calculate this as 5. 10 and 10 means the current running is 1 ampere. Now with this circuit you brought another 10 ohm. So the overall resistance has become now 5 ohm. So the current running through the circuit has become how much? 2 ampere. So when you made this, I's value has become equal to 2 ampere. Is this much understood or not? Understood? देख लो एक बार फिर से. पहले हमारा so far we have calculated this 10 volt and this is how much? 10 ohm, right? This was end of part 1. This was end of part 1. Now in part 2 they have asked me, I'm writing with blue. In part 2 they introduced another resistance out here which is of 10 ohms. Agreed?
Yeah.
Can I wipe out both of them and bring one resistance which is 5 ohm? दो 10 ohm पैरेलल में एक 5 ohm होता है ना, क्या आंसर नहीं है, इतना चुप्पी करने से थोड़ी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी होगा. ठीक है, if that be the case, now you have reduced the resistance, so circuit में करंट बढ़ गया ना, भी 2 ampere हो गया. नहीं पर सर आप कैसे निकालते हो? V upon I is equal to R. V is 10, I don't know, R is equal to 5. 5 ने काटा 2, I उधर गया तो 2 है ना. ठीक है, समझ में आया? Right. So this 2 ampere is this 2 ampere, right? Now my part 2 questions are these. These are my part 2 questions. If that be the case, they have asked me find out the PD across the lamp. Now lamp and conductor are in series. Do you agree or not? Therefore voltage across lamp and conductor will be divided, क्योंकि सीरीज में वोल्टेज डिवाइड हो जाता है. So if V volts were being supplied, the V volts become as V1, V2, such that V1 plus V2 ultimately has to be equal to 10 volt. Remember what I used to do in my childhood days? 240 volts across how many bulbs? 40 bulbs. Divide, ये भी वैसे 40 bulbs के जगह 2 bulb है यहाँ पे, सोच लो, डिवाइड हो गया आपका, ठीक है? तो वोल्टेज तो डिवाइड हो गया. So one thing, one formula we have, 10 is equal to V1 plus V2. This is one equation you have with you. ठीक है बच्चा? Right? Now we have to find out V1. PD across lamp means you have to find out V1. Is this understood? PD across lamp is V1. ठीक है? अब V1 निकालने की कोशिश करते हैं. Now for the lamp, हर एक चीज के लिए आप ओम्स लॉ लगाओ. ओम्स लॉ लगाओ. PD V by I. V means V1. You're doing it for the lamp, so it's V1. I means what is the current flowing through this channel? Only I1 is flowing. Okay, and here ये भी लिख के रखो, I1 plus I2 is equal to 2 ampere. This is also one equation you have, right? This 2 ampere जाके गंगा गया, जमुना गया, फिर जाके मिल गया इसे. Clear? चलो. This should be equal to लैंप का रेजिस्टेंस RL. Clear? V1 हमको नहीं पता. V1 is equal to I1 into 5 ohms. I have written another equation because RL you have calculated as 5. ये मिल गया. Now go here. यहाँ पे चलते हैं. यहाँ पे if so this is next is conductor. कंडक्टर में क्या लगाएंगे? फिर से कंडक्टर में भी ओम्स लॉ लगाओ. Let's put Ohm's law in conductor again. So V means V2 upon I1 is equal to 5 ohms. Do you agree? Therefore, from here you can say that I1 is equal to V2 by 5. Agreed? ये एक और इक्वेशन. इस इक्वेशन को इसमें I1 में घुसेड़ दो. So V1 becomes equals to I1. I1 की जगह क्या लिखेंगे? V2 by 5 into 5. 5 ने 5 को काटा, आपको मिला V1 equal to V2. और आप जानते हो V1 equal to V2. So here I can write now 2V1 is equal to 10 volt. So V1 is equal to 5 volt, which is equal to V2. But instead of doing this stupid process, since both the resistors are of same value and connected in series, you just try to think, how many bulbs did I connect in my childhood? 40 bulbs. What was the voltage across each bulb? All of them were 6.1, 6.1, 6.1. सीरीज में तो यही ब्यूटी है ना, सारे बल्ब्स एक जैसे थे, लेकिन अगर एक बल्ब बड़ा एक छोटा लगा दोगे तो रेजिस्टेंस अलग होगा. अब इसका रेजिस्टेंस कितना है? 5 ओम. इसका रेजिस्टेंस कितना है? 5 ओम. Everyone, the voltage will be exactly same. You and she have the same amount of stubbornness, thick skin, जो भी बोलो. So if I scold both of you, you're gonna absorb half of my scolding, she will absorb half of my scolding. As simple as that. Next question was what? Current through the conductor. Current through the conductor माने बाबा आपको I1 निकालना है ना? I1 निकाल लो भी. ये I1 will be equal to how much? V2. V2 is how much? 5 by 5, 1 ampere. यहां भी बेवकूफी करने की जरूरत नहीं है. ये ओवरऑल रेजिस्टेंस कितना है? 10 ओम. ये कितना है? 10 ओम. Current gets distributed in parallel. Both the parallel networks are having the same resistance. So if you are punching 2 ohms to two parallel networks which are having the same resistance, ऊपर का रेजिस्टेंस कितना है? 10. नीचे का कितना है कंबाइन? 10. ये 1 एम्पियर खाएगा, ये 1 एम्पियर खाएगा. इसको भी करने की जरूरत नहीं थी. 1 ampere here, 1 ampere here, we again combines, they become 2 amperes here. Understand? This was an easy problem. It's a lengthy problem. Why easy? Because these data are speculative. अब जो problem हम करेंगे, इसमें ये सब डेटा अलग अलग होगा, पर इससे आपको बेसिक क्लियरेंस होता है. पीयू, आद्या समझ में आया? अगला प्रॉब्लम में यही चीज हमें यूज करना है. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर द, ये लिख, ये you want to note down anything and can I write some summary after this? Can I write? Okay. Whenever you get all these resistor type problems, the first thing that you should do, number one is look at the network. Look at the network. एंड लुक करके क्या करोगे, आइडेंटिफाई सीरीज एंड पैरेलल्स, and after that your only job is Ohm's law. That's it. This is broad. करें एक और, क्या हो गया, आवाज नहीं, एक प्रॉब्लम से ये हालत. Okay, if you are thinking that I will study computer science and electronics, then please understand electrical is a common paper there also. ECA is a common paper there also. Okay, one subject is only this electrical circuit analysis. Now you are learning only one Ohm's law. In grade 12 you will have Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's law, two laws of Kirchhoff. In engineering you will have Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem, superposition theorem, Kirchhoff's law. कौन सा लगेगा पता ही नहीं, पर लोग करते हैं, मजा आता है लोगों को. चलिए, ओके, वेरी नाइस डायग्राम. 4 इंस्टेंसेस हैं. पहले डायग्राम देखिए. This is 4 volt. Acha. And we have got A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. Okay, A, B, C, D, and 6, 3, 12, 3. So 6, 3, 12, 3. Question तो पता ही नहीं. ये डायग्राम पहले बना लीजिए. I will not ask the question first. My first questions to you all will be like Dronacharya to Pandavas and Kaurav. What are you seeing? क्या क्या दिख रहा है आपको? जितना कुछ दिख रहा है पहले हाईलाइट करो. There are 2 parallel trails out here. Okay, first is there are 2 parallel trails. Each of the parallel trail में there are 2 branches. Parallel जब हम बोलते हैं तो 2 branch बोलते हैं. AB is 1 branch, CD is 1 branch. Each branch again has a series network. सबसे पहले, ठीक है ना? ये समझ में आया? There are 2 parallel branches. So जब 2 parallel branches है, what is the voltage that we are supplying? 4 volt. So see here, 4 volt is what we are supplying. 4 volt is getting to this branch. AB को भी 4 volt जा रहा है, CD को भी. सबसे पहले आप अपने फाइंडिंग्स को देखिए. 2 पैरेलल ब्रांचेस है आपके पास. क्या क्या? AB एंड CD. जो आप 10 वोल्ट नहीं 4 वोल्ट सप्लाई कर रहे हो ना, यू आर सप्लाइंग 4 वोल्ट. Exact 4 volt is going here also. Exact 4 volt is going here also. Why? यही तभी आप सीखोगे. लिखना छोड़ो. आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन. In parallel, voltage does not get distributed. See, there is where your basics are going wrong, na? In parallel, voltage remains constant. अपना घर याद करो. आपका घर पैरेलल कनेक्शन है. वही 240 वोल्ट बाथरूम नेटवर्क में भी जा रहा है. दिस इज बाथरूम 1 लाइट, बाथरूम एग्जॉस्ट, जैसा समझ लो. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, देयर मस्ट बी अ सर्किट करंट हियर which is going from the positive side as say I don't know what the question is asking, but I को देखो तो आते I immediately, children please do not take your eyes away from the board. My request, you will get this recorded. You can spend the time at home to once, and if you think by doing once you are done, then that is the biggest mistake you are doing. ये घर में दोबारा करो, आप फंसोगे 100%. is first time you are doing. First time तो आप सिर्फ pens down, आप इधर ही आंख रखो, and there may be 15 idiotic questions in your mind. Please ask. The current I starts flowing, और यहां जाके करंट को मैं किधर जाऊं? तो शोले जैसा आधे इधर जाओ, आधे इधर जाओ। अब जैसे ही I2 जाएगा, the current through the 12 ohm resistor will be I2, the current through the 3 ohm, ये सब आप when you take your eyes away you will not understand. This also will be I2. Why? Yes, in series current, because current remains constant. You yourself think I2 current is coming, current is like water, is it getting any other way to go? No, इससे जितना आर पार करेगा इसका भी इतना ही आर पार करेगा. Therefore this is 6 ohm, this is 3 ohm. Through 6 ohm how much will be flowing? I1 will be flowing. To 3 ohm how much will be flowing? I1 will be flowing. Ultimately यहां से भी I1 आएगा, यहां से कितना आएगा? I2, यहां कितना आएगा? I2. अब दोनों आके गंगा जमुना मिलन हो गया और I होके सर्किट करंट दौड़ना शुरू कर गया. आप पहले ये कॉन्सेप्ट डेवलप करो, इसके बाद बाकी सब कुछ हो जाएगा आपका. Rest everything. We have done all the sorting. Now tell me children one thing. Do I know what is the current through each of the individual component? Yes. Yes, I know. Do I know what is the voltage across each component? Not yet. Let's do the voltage mapping also. Right. We know that the voltage, overall voltage in this branch is how much? 4 volt. But the 4 volt must have got divided as V1, V2, such that V1 plus V2 is equal to 4 volts. Agreed? Again here don't put V1, V2. अभी बच्चा सब अलग अलग हो गया है. देखो ये 6, ये 3, ये 12. तो यहाँ पे कुछ एक V3 है, V4 है. Again V3 plus V4 should also be 4 volts. Correct? Now one small question to you. What is the voltage across 3 ohm resistor? Sir, the voltage across 3 ohm is 4 volts. No, V4, and the current flowing through it is I2. What is the voltage across this one? V2, current flowing is I1. We now have the generic list with us. Let's see what are the questions and how to calculate them. Okay. The first question is current through the 6 ohm resistor. The first question is 6 ohm resistor means V1. This one, not V1. V1 is voltage. Current through 6 ohm resistor. R कैसे होगा? अरे करंट पूछ रहा है. This is I1. ये आपको पूछा. कैसे निकालेंगे हम? हमें नहीं पता. पहले तो सर्किट का करंट निकालते हैं. आइए, सर्किट का करंट निकालने के लिए ओवरऑल क्या रेजिस्टेंस है यहाँ पे? 6 plus 3 9, 12 plus 3 15. So our circuit is like this. 9 and bottom we have how much? 15. Very good. 15 ohms and connected to 4 volts. Now 9 and 15, can you get me the equivalent? 1 upon R, very good, is equal to 1 upon 9 plus 1 upon 15. 9 and 15, so 9, 15. 3 3s are 9, 3 5s are 15. So 3 3s are 9 5s are 45. Excellent. 45, तो 9 5 आ जाएगा ऊपर, 3 इधर आ जाएगा. So this is 8 by 45. लेकिन एक चीज गलत हो गया श्रेयस, 45 by 8 है. 1 by R is 8 by 45. याद रखना मिस्टर. Whoever said, I mean, okay. So it's 45 by 8, not 8 by 45. 45 by 8. So the overall circuit looks like what? The overall circuit is very simple. It has a 45 by 8 ohm resistor connected to a 4 volt supply. Can you get me the current now? The circuit current now. I is equal to V by R. What is V? 4. 4 divided by 45 by 8, which is equal to 4 into 8 by 45. कितना आया? 22. 32 by 45. So we keep it. I's value is, circuit current कितना है? 32 by 45 amperes. This much is the circuit's current. Now we have to find out what is the current through this particular voltage. अच्छा, चलो आओ. Let's solve. Now you apply Ohm's law here. सिर्फ इक्वेशंस है और कुछ नहीं। ओम्स लॉ लगाएंगे तो क्या होगा, V1 by I1 should be equal to how much? 6. Clear? V1 by I1 should be equal to 6. And if you apply Ohm's law here, applying Ohm's law on AB branch, okay, what do you get? V2 by I1 should be equal to 3. Can we take out one of the item? I1 can be taken out. I1 निकाल दे. So I1 की वैल्यू यहां से कितनी हो जाएगी? I1 will be, okay, rather than taking out I1, since we will need I1, so you take out V1 from here. V1 is equal to 6 I1, correct? And what is V1 in terms of V2? 4 minus V2 is equal to 6 I1. 4 minus V1 plus V2 should be equal to 4. So V1 is equal to 4 minus V2. Correct? So V2 is equal to how much? 4 plus 6 I1. Clear? और यहां भी V2 की वैल्यू आ गई. V2 is equal to 3 I1. Can we equate this side and this side now? 4 plus 6 I1 is equal to 3 I1. और क्या करें? माइनस आ गया है, कुछ गड़बड़ हुआ है. माइनस आ गया ना. Something we have done गड़बड़. 4, wait, हाँ, V2 उस साइड जाएगा, so it will be 4 minus 6 ना. 4 minus 6. Okay, 4 minus 6. So this becomes how much? 9 I1 is equal to 4 और I1 की वैल्यू आ गई 4 by 9 amperes. एक आंसर तो निकल गया. हाँ, ये तो पूछा ना, what is the current? एक निकल जाएगा तो बाकी सब आ जाएगा. 4 by 9 which is 0.44 ampere is correct. It is not tough. It is about just solving 3-4 simultaneous equations. क्या टफ है बोलो आप? अच्छा, यहां तक एक बार आप खुद करो ना, मैं रुकता हूं आपके लिए. एक दिन में नहीं होगा, इसमें क्लास लगेगा. We can't do it in. तो 8 दिन में ये मुझे पूछने की जगह स्कूल में जब आधे घंटे में 2 दिन करवा दिया तब आपको नहीं लगा?
फिनिश नहीं किया.
No one asked Avinash sir about it. And then, like, instead of telling it,
names. तो जिसको जो टाइम लगता है ना, तो क्या बोलूं अभी. The incubation period, gestation, we don't say incubation ना, gestation period for a human baby is 9 months. अभी तुमको 3rd month में ही अगर बेबी चाहिए तो वो लिजर्ड ही निकलेगा ना. लिजर्ड आ रहा है तुम्हारा अभी. आंसर वैसा है, नहीं हो सकता है ना. ये तो धीरे धीरे इसलिए कर रहा हूं, अगर ये फास्ट करो तो आपको और भी समझ में नहीं आएगा. अब नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस अक्रॉस 12 ओम रेजिस्टर मींस V3. नथिंग डिफिकल्ट. क्या है बोलो? अच्छा, V3. नाउ यू हैव गॉट सो मच ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन विथ यू. You know the value of I1, you know the value. देखो अभी तो तुम्हारा ये I का वैल्यू आ गया है, I1 का वैल्यू आ गया. I1 आ गया तो I2 आ जाएगा कि नहीं? See, next question is what you know. देखो नेहा, you have to find out the value of V3. This they have asked you. इधर जरा अप्लाई करके देखो ओम्स लॉ. आप ही मुझे को ओम्स लॉ अप्लाई करके बोलो ना. यहाँ पे क्या होगा? V3 by I2 should be equal to 12 ohms. What is so difficult? I2 तुम्हें नहीं पता. I2 1 मिनट में निकल जाएगा. I2 is equal to I minus I1. Yes or no? The two currents add and give you I. Do you know the value of I? You had calculated I. 32 by 45. Unfortunately, this problem also does not have very handy figures. And what is the value of I1? Just look, what is the value of I1? 4 by 9. अभी तो पावर का कैलकुलेशन बाकी है, हीट का कैलकुलेशन बाकी है, तो सर वो रेजिस्टेंस है. एक घर का इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का बिल क्या आता है? KWH, commercial unit of power. They have just played joke with you. Now 45 and 9, what should be the LCM? 45. So this remains as 32. 9 5 45, 5 4 20. 32 से 10 जाएगा तो 22, और 10 जाएगा तो 12/45. ठीक है ना? So I2 निकल गया हमारा. So V3 is equal to 12/45 into 12 ohm. I2 आ गया ना? 12/45. So 12/45 into 12. 12 is how much? 144. 45 volts. Acha, tell me, can you find out what is V4 now? V4? You know V3? 4 से V3 निकाल दो. 4 वोल्ट से V3 निकाल दो. 4 वोल्ट से V3 निकाल दो. आप इसको unnecessarily आप लोग इसे you are thinking that this is a very troublesome problem, very hard. It's not like that. Not at all like that. उस दिन जो दिखाया था R1 R2 वैसा क्वेश्चन नहीं आता है. ऐसा तो आएगा. अच्छा चलो, तुम्हारे मन की शांति के लिए नहीं एक खुश होके जाना है घर से. Delhi CBSE 2008. Now this is a question you can make a face. Ready? And you will be able to solve it. Done? Last question. Chal. Please do go through the video. You all need extra पढ़ना है. कुछ भी हो गया, नहीं हो रहा है, let me know, we will do it. पर ऐसे मैदान छोड़ के कायरों की तरह मत भागो यार. चलो ये वाला क्वेश्चन करते हैं. Zoe has already given up. ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. This is what you all read poems and all. Keep going, fight it out. यही fighting attitude. There's a switch और switch on है. Lamp है. चलो ये क्वेश्चन करके दे दो मुझे. 18 and 6. ये CBSE. 18 and that to CBSE compartmental. Compartmental means you know. जो पास नहीं किया उसके लिए जब सप्लीमेंट्री एग्जाम होता है, जनरली दे आर कंसिडर्ड एज हार्ड. ये सप्लीमेंट्री एग्जाम का पेपर है. 6 वोल्ट. क्या दिख रहा है आपको? What are you seeing in this circuit? Tell me. I see I see a series network of 2 appliances. You don't know what is this appliance? 2 appliances. Series network of 2 appliances, each of individual resistance 8 and 6. That means the overall circuit resistance is how much? 24 ohms. And it's being fed from a 6 volt source. That means the current is in my hand straight away. कोई क्वेश्चन पूछे ना पूछे, करंट कैलकुलेट करके लेते हैं. आ जाओ. V upon I is equal to R. So I is equal to V upon R. How much is V? 6. 6 divided by how much? 24. Yes or no? 6 4s are 24. 1 upon 4. 1 upon 4 means quarter. 0.25 ampere. Quarter ampere means
What is the resistance of the lamp?
18 ohms. तुम बाजू वाले की बैल्कनी से बैठ के देखो और क्लियर दिखेगा. क्रिस्टल टावर से किसी एन टावर के घर पे टीवी चलाओ और क्लियर दिखेगा तुम्हें. ठीक है. नाउ द क्वेश्चन इज, सी द क्वेश्चंस आर सो इजी. दिस इज CBSE क्वेश्चन. Total resistance of the circuit. Tell me honestly, touch your heart and say you can't solve it. Total resistance of the circuit. Zoe, you tell me. Total resistance of the circuit. Can you solve or not for this one? What? Why so slowly? Yeah. What is the total resistance of the circuit? 24. Speak it loudly. Josh se na. 24 ohms. Current flowing through the circuit. Current flowing through the circuit. Quarter ampere. 0.25. Then third is potential difference across the lamp and resistor. Lamp and resistor both are in series. So the potential difference must have got divided as V1 and this will become 6 minus V1. अगर V2 लिखने से तुम्हें लगता है कि 2 अनाथ बच्चे पैदा हो गए तो तुम 6 minus V1 लिख लो. ठीक है ना? करेक्ट. और इसमें करंट कितना दौड़ रहा है? 1/4 दौड़ रहा है. तो यहां से भी करंट कितना दौड़ेगा? 1/4. यहां से भी कितना? 1/4. अब इसका वोल्टेज निकालने में क्या प्रॉब्लम है रे? V1 by 1/4. V by I is equal to how much? 18. Come on, solve it. V1 is equal to 18 into 1/4. How much? 4 4s are 16 to 24 by 20. 4.5 volts. And now, like an idiot, डोंट स्टार्ट कैलकुलेटिंग फॉर इट। 6 वोल्ट आ रहा है, उसमें से 4.5 इसने खा लिया, कितना बचा? 1.5। सो दिस विल बी 1.5 वोल्ट। क्या मुश्किल है? क्या मुश्किल है? Or else you could have done with this also. If I'm at your place in the class, now I will do with this. इसके लिए निकाल लेते हैं. Then in this case, I call this as some V2. This will be how much? 6 minus V2. Simple सवाल. Same thing ना? If this is V2, this is 6 minus V2. So यहाँ Ohm's law लगा लो. V2 divided by 1 by 4 is equal to 6. So V2 is equal to how much? 1 by 4 into 6. 4 6 से काटेंगे तो 1.5 है। ठीक है, आज कम से कम आपको अगर लग रहा है कि 8 दिन बाद एग्जाम है, आज गरम गरम रोटी है, आज घर में जाके इसका वीडियो चलाइए। मैं तो अपलोड कर दूंगा, अभी आपके घर पहुंचने से पहले आ जाएगा। और फिर हमने कितने प्रॉब्लम किए? स्टार्टिंग वन इजी, then absolutely bombastic one came, two bombastic, and then we got again an easy one। ठीक है ना? इन्हें सुंदर से स्केल लेके बना के स्टेप बाय स्टेप करो। स्टॉप द वीडियो, स्टॉप, सी what do you have to see? Remember 3 things in mind. What is the network? Is it a series or parallel? If it is parallel, the voltage remains constant across every branch. Within the branch, across component, the voltage will get divided. If it is a series connection, the current remains constant, the voltage gets divided. If it is parallel, then the current will always, current is like water, जाते जाते दिखता है 2 रास्ता जा रहा है, फैल जाएगा 2 रास्ते में। समझ में आया? इसलिए एक, now you will understand, like these are called network theory. You are starting very basic level of network theorems solve कर रहे हो. So there are theorems like Kirchhoff's theorem. Kirchhoff is a Russian guy, okay? So जब वो करके दिमाग गर्म हो जाता है ना, have you gone to some old cities like say not the proper Delhi, old Delhi चले जाओ या old Bombay, you'll see some light post with so much of cables hanging on it. So there is an Instagram reel that comes, so उसका फोटो आके बोलता है now apply Kirchhoff's law out there. If you really have the guts. So आप लोग पहले से ऐसे मत करो, because I'm telling you in grade 12 ये सब कुछ नहीं है, इससे बढ़ बढ़ के आएगा आपको. You can't escape. And this is easy. Do one thing. Can you do these 4 problems today once again? Fresh. किताब खोल के and properly लेके. नहीं करोगे तो नहीं आएगा. अभी अर्जुन तुम अभी कोई सवाल नहीं पूछ रहा है, मैं 100% नो सब ओवरहेड ट्रांसमिशन हुआ है. Then you will say, first of all, you don't draw diagrams. Upon that, these are all diagram sensitive. And in every step, you should draw diagrams when you're first time understanding. How did you reduce it to a 1 resistor? How did you reduce it to an equivalent resistor? How did you calculate the circuit resistance? एक करके सारा diagrams draw करो, तब आपको picture clear होगा. Then you'll say, sir, I did not understand. Second, always I say, physics, now we are at the end of the class, I still could not get a big copy. That is, even if I was a guitar teacher, I would not have allowed that copy. That shows the dedication to learn something. ऐसे नहीं होता है ना. चलो कोई बात